I am Comrade Sadique Jikta, the Director General of Fusion 774, a political support and socio-economic advocacy group. And I'm also a director with the Amalgamated APC Support Group. Yes, my impression, and I would say the majority impression is that the government have started on a good note. Like from the very first day that the president was inaugurated, he kicked the ball rolling, by, for example, stopping the subsidy regime, which was applauded by a lot of Nigerians. And most Nigerians are so comfortable that it is high time for us to get off this subsidy thing, because the subsidy thing have tied us down, and it is uh, about the right time for us to forge ahead and come up with a new policy or new strategy that can address the fuel issue for this country. So I think on that inauguration day, this is one of the first steps that he took, and we all agree that he started on a good note, and with the appointments that he has done so far, and it shows that he is prepared for the job. And so far, we are comfortable with what Mr. President is doing, with the caliber of appointment that he has done so far, and the steps he has taken in the various sectors so far that he has intervened in. Yes, we also will applaud the decision of the Mr. President by appointing this new crop of service chief, because these are people who have really, you know, who have worked for them and who have really distinguished themselves. And the old service chief have done their best, and we commend them and we thank them for the service that they have done to the country. But this new crop of service chief that have just came in now, I see them as very competent, and Mr. President didn't just uh, appoint them, but I think he has looked into their background. Like the current chief of army staff is a known person in the Northeast. We have seen the effort he has put in the fight against the insurgents in the Northeast. I think it is based on his record and the rest of them that they were appointed. I think the appointment is so far very comfortable. We are comfortable with the new appointment that he has done, and we look forward to them giving their best, and we also look forward to Mr. President bringing in more hands, and I urge all Nigerians to give him the support, because so far they are among the best in the military. They are the good hands in the military that he has picked, and we have to commend him for this step so far that he has taken. Yes, first of all, Mr. President we know his renewed hope agenda, and we know what is enshrined in the renewed hope. Basically, it describes the way the economy will be managed, and the economy could not be effectively managed without security, and Mr. President is aware of all this. And if we are looking at a very good and competent individuals whom Mr. President should look into bringing them in the government for him to achieve results, people who we have seen their track record, who have really delivered for this country. I think I will make mention, first of all, of the former Chief of Army Staff, Ambassador Tukuru Yusuf Buratai. These are individuals that have identified themselves. These are this is one of the individuals that have really record have shown what he has done, and he has really made the mark. And he have the requisite knowledge in terms of handling issues of security, and not just that, he is an intellectual in security issues. I have followed up with him, and I'm very impressed with what he did and what he has done. Even after retirement, he didn't just go sit down like that. He went into research. He established a research center. Interestingly, he has a research center doing research currently on the issue of insurgency, criminalities, and in this country. You see, it's very rare for somebody to go on retirement and go into research, intellectual work. I think that's very impressive. And I'm aware of some research that is going on now on the issue, causes of insurgency in the country and criminality. He have, you know, assign some group to go into research to know the root cause of this insecurity in the country. It's one of those things that we need in this country. I think government itself need to go to the root cause of these issues of insecurity in the country and to really understand it. But I think an individual is doing that. Maybe in the long run, he may submit the report to government also. But this type of individual are the type of individuals we are looking at for Asiwaju to bring into his government to help him succeed, because it's somebody that has been tested, and after retirement, he didn't just go and sit down. He still continued to provide input, not just for Nigeria. I have seen him invited by so many other African countries to go deliver paper to give them to tap from his wealth of experience. So he's an international figure, in terms of security, and we need somebody with that experience, like somebody like Borate that have spoken. He is one individual that we really need, that will support the government and bring the issue of insecurity to the barest minimal, because if security is not well handled, it will affect the economy. Look at, for example, now the oil theft. Oil theft have become a very big issue for this country. Like the other day, Asari Dokubo came out to accuse the military of being involved in stealing of crude oil. But even though that have not really, the military have come out to challenge him to mention, but it's people who knows the terrain, who knows how these things work. Like for him now, if he is brought into the issue of security in this country, he was an active participant in the whole security issue of this country. So he is well placed and well positioned to really understand if really the military are involved in this type of dealings. So he has been one of them. If this type of thing is going on, he will know, and he knows all the intrigues that is involved. So I see him as one individual that will help address the issue of Boko Haram, the issue of banditry, the issue of the Fulani headsmen, the issue of crude oil theft, the issue of the unknown gunmen, all the criminalities that's happening in this country. So it's an expert, by training and by practice. So in terms of security, I see him as very credible for Asiwaju to bring his like into this government for us to achieve, for the economy to be well balanced. Yes, my advice to Nigerians is for us to be patient. Though we have had a lot of negative experiences, we have had too much expectation, dashed expectations, and that has created some kind of mistrust amongst us. But I think I will urge us to really support this government, because this government is starting on a new note. We have never had a government in the first 1 month have done a lot, have achieved as this government, Asiwaju's government, have achieved. So I ask us to give him the full support, just the way we have given him the support on the fuel subsidy crisis. You know, we understand every day from our mistake, our shortcomings. Like, for example, I was one of those that were against the stoppage of the fuel subsidy. But with time, we came to realize that it is just the way to go. And that is why when the labor leaders were calling for a mass action, so we went against it. We disagreed with them. Sometimes we have to support our government. Sometimes it's not all policy that come on a platter of gold. Sometimes you pay in the hard way to achieve a lot. We have lost a lot of resources under this fuel subsidy regime. I think it's high time we just embrace it as it is and look forward to the future with much anticipation, because this government, we're very expectant of a lot coming out of this government. For example, the student loan. You know, that student loan was well, one policy that have really catched my heart and the hearts of so many Nigerians. You know, poor Nigerians, indigent Nigerians are there. Like, for example, recently after this long strike that ASU did, and universities are talking about reviewing school fee. You know, in my own family, I knew how it tripled. School fees that we have to pay tripled. But with this now, it will cushion this difficulty, this fear that parents or guardians of students are witnessing. So let's anticipate and give support. And I know this very government is prepared and determined to take us to the promised land. So let's give all our best and all our contributions to this Asiwaju's government. And that's what I would say for now. And